everybody's favorite topic, boys and girls sports.
Yes.
A little bit less. Well, it's still pretty serious, but the San Francisco, I didn't even know that's where it was. Waldorf High School girls basketball team is riding a 5-game win streak. This is from Outkick, thanks in large part to star player and captain Henry Hanlon. I guess he hasn't changed his name. In the team's 54-22 win over Jewish community on Thursday, Hanlon scored a game-high 24 points. That makes 4 consecutive games. He's gotten at least a third of Waldorf's points. Impressive, but there's one problem. He's a male.
Henry.
There's Henry at Waldorf,
Dude,
and these are the
anti-Semitism of him beating up the Jewish community that by 30 points. That's anti-Semitic, you know?
here's the three faces. I wanted to say the duality of man, but it's three girls. This girl scared. This girl thinking it's a joke. And then this girl just being like, what the hell's going on here? And then the two black refs being like, come on, man, which is actually a Joe Biden thing to say. But we got a clip here, luckily.
Okay.
Look how much taller he is. Hold on. Just towering over this girl. He's like, I'm a girl. Whatever. Let's go, Jags.
I want to see a dunk.
Oh, that's it? I thought he was going to easily score or something.
I mean, there's a lot of contact there.
Hanlon, a junior, is a three-sport athlete competing in girls basketball, volleyball, and soccer. Oh, my God. Where is he here? Right there, right in the middle. Luckily, it's volleyball, so he's the tallest by a hair.
Look at the chick holding the thing in the front. She's the only one not smiling. Like, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet she's got conservative parents that are like, don't say anything, but this is crazy.
Good thing this girl's wearing her mask, though. I'll put there's a lot of problems with high school students, I guess. I'll play this sport and I'll have my arm around people, but this mask is going to help it. On the basketball court, Hanlon currently ranks 4th in California's North Coast section with 20 points per game. Representative of the advocacy group Women Are Real visited Waldorf to watch a game in person. She said Hanlon towered over the girls on both teams. Strange. The boy had an obvious advantage, said Julie Lane. The girls didn't necessarily run their offense through him, probably because they didn't want to be targeted. But he got most of the rebounds and was able to jump much higher than the girls. You know, and always sometimes people make the argument, and there he is again, that not every man who competes in women's sports is dominating them. So that's an obvious way that we can tell that there's not an advantage. But what people who've never played sports don't really understand is that for a guy to want to play in girls' sports, i.e. Luke/Leah Thomas, it's because they're not that good in the male sport. So a not that good male athlete all of a sudden becomes a phenomenal female athlete. So to be like, you know, they're not running the whole offense through him, he's probably lacking some fundamental skills. You know, he's probably like 6'2". I can't really say for sure, but he's probably lacking some skills that prevent him from being a very good player on the male team. But he's still going to be able to out-jump and out-rebound these girls and generally physically dominate them, even if he is a crappy male basketball player. Now, the fact that he's playing in 3 sports, he's looking to dominate. Like, he's going to become the best female athlete of all time, I'm thinking, at this part. But yeah. I did also read that there was a school that refused to play against him, which was a Muslim school. So it's interesting. Take from it, if you will, whatever you want. Tunnels and all. That it was the Muslim team that did not want to play against him, but the Jewish school was happily destroyed. What was it, 54-24?
Where is this like like where are they that there's Muslim schools and Jewish schools? Like, I didn't even know there were like Muslim and Jewish high schools like that. What they got?
There are here.
Yeah, I mean, I knew like certain religious schools exist, but I guess like, is it a private school they play at? Because they're playing.
I would think so.
Yeah, to play the religious schools is just like kind of funny.
Playing on the religious school circuit.
I was just thinking in my head, like as he's beating up like the Jewish team, he's just like, "Free Palestine," and they're like, "Oh no!" Like getting mad at him. He's like, "Yeah, he's probably a Palestinian activist." Yeah, I mean, it's like I played soccer in high school, and I was good. I mean, for a moment, I was leading the county in goals or second or third. It's like, yeah, if I would have played on the women's, I would have probably been the best player in the state. And that's not me bragging about how good I am. It's just like the difference biologically is astronomical. Like, was I a top 30 player in the state, probably not. I don't know, but probably not. Would I have been a top 5 women's player in the country? Probably. Like it's the math of like, yeah, you can go from being average to really, really, really good. And it's such a crazy dynamic to just do that and then play really hard. Like when I used to play six, it's not like I wouldn't try hard, but I wouldn't like bump them and stuff. I wasn't trying to like hurt a chick, but he's boxing out and stuff. Like he's really like going at it like it's not a thing. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I don't know why. Like it's funny that like the Jewish team lost by 30, but the Muslim team won't play. Here's the funny thing. I bet like the Christian team will like this would be the perfect analogy. Like the Christian team they play, but they complain, but they still play along. And then Caitlyn Jenner comes and they say, well, Caitlyn Jenner's on our side. They agree with us. And like, or it's like, like that would be the Christian version. Cause the Muslims are like, Habibi, no. And the Christians will be like, well, Joel Osteen told me that I should probably play this game.
Well, I just think about I played a little bit of rugby. I played 2 years of rugby in high school until I got kicked off the team. I had a record, kicked off 2 teams in my senior year. Other story. Not deservingly anomaly. Well, quickly, basketball got kicked off because I missed 2 practices before playoffs. I only knowingly missed 1, okay? Second one I didn't know about. Got kicked off of rugby because somebody said I went golfing. Actually just skipped practice with Jeremy, okay? We didn't care for how the practices were being run, so maybe I deserved to be kicked off both. However, if I think about the differences between the men and the women's rugby team, and this is happening, by the way, in Canada, there's a adult women's rugby league with a guy in it dominating it. David Menzies has gone and interviewed him, and then the 50-year-old guy swimming with 14-year-old girls. This is happening here. And if I think about the difference between high school level rugby between men and girls, and then to extend that to like adult men versus women, the strength difference was insane. The kids a year younger than us were like second in the province in rugby. If I was to think about, those kids were huge. And if one of those guys, even just one of them, played on the girls' rugby team, he would never be stopped. Can you think about girls trying to tackle you? It'd be like children. And it's like that question of how many children could you beat up?
There's a difference for sure. Andrew, when I used to live in LA, I had this one friend who's liberal. He's a producer, like skinny dude, nice guy, but he was liberal and he would listen to me and like at least have conversations. And I don't know if I was even like conservative at the time, but somehow trans sports comes up, like every good conversation. And I explained to him, cause I love sports. I watch sports. I play sports. Like I know, and maybe he wasn't an athlete, I'm not sure, but I said to him, I was like, listen, feelings aside and like your opinion aside and my opinion aside and whether we think it's ethical or not, like you do know that like biologically born men, like you've seen like the WNBA and the NBA, and like I started providing all these examples. Like it's insane, even if you're pro-trans or pro-LGBT or whatever. I was like, it's insane to be like pro sports. Like that was my thought even before I knew politics. And he was like, that's a good point. I never thought of that. And I'm like, you never thought of that? And he goes, that is a good point. I've never thought of that, but I still think they should play sports. And I'm like, bro, what? Like, you've never thought of that? And then you did think of that and you still think they should play? Why?
It's the very reason or boys and girls gym classes are separate in high school.
I mean, they do some co-ed stuff, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's just so obvious. So that just shows the level of dishonesty. Cause even like Caitlyn Jenner will be like, nah,
no, I don't believe that's fair.
Yeah. I don't believe that. Yeah. Of course you won a freaking gold medal as a man, dude. Imagine if you ran as a woman, but then here's the hypocrisy of that. Then people will be like, that's our base case. And listen, God bless the human being of Caitlyn Jenner, but I just want to say, like, then when Dylan Mulvaney came out, Caitlyn Jenner was like, that's crazy. They're making a mockery. And I'm like, by doing what you did? You did that first. And I was like, why is that well, because it's on a can. But you at the ESPYs is not? Like, how is that any different? And like these people, it's so crazy because so many Republicans like, yeah, but like that's different. I'm like, how is it different? Like, in fact, it's not only not different, but like that was the first of that. Like Dylan Mulvaney's the third offcoming of that. And the craziest thing, bro, do you know who green lighted a transgender participant years before Caitlyn Jenner won an award? Do you know who? It's gonna blow your mind, bro.
Transgender participant in what?
In like an award show that like it was like one of the
No.
first ones to ever allow it. It was Donald Trump in Miss Universe in like 2012, bro.
There was a tranny that far back.
And Miss Universe said no, and Trump came in with his power because he owns it and overturned it, bro.
That's hot. It's totally
Isn't that
hot.
funny though? That like Trump is like the face against that, even though he's literally like before Caitlyn Jenner of like bringing it to reality, dude. It's like when you realize the elites, like you know, a lot of people hate the elites, like oh they're making us poor, they're locking us down. It's true, but they do have a comedic touch to their script writing. They're like let's make the opposition leader to this thing the person who brought it here, and then
I had to let him in. He pulled his penis out. He said, "Look at this penis, Donald." It's a work in progress.
You know, Muhammad. You just like pick a name.
Yeah, I was gonna basically say the same thing, but with China. So I'm Xi now.
Okay, yeah, I knew this chick that was Chinese, and like it was like like whatever it was. I don't want to do the Rachel thing because I'm gonna get in trouble. But it's like Bing Bing. I don't know. Bing Bing's any better. That's worse. Frick. Okay, like whatever it was like 18,000 syllables, and like the teacher reads it and she's just like, just call me Anne. Anne. But I get it. I mean, like it's not a name that like Americans can pronounce, so it's like I didn't even like when they read my name. I would always, I don't know, you know, there's something about like that first day of school and like everyone looks at you, they'll be like Jimmy Johnson, and it's like here, and then they're like,
you're named after a sausage.
and then they just look at, you know, everyone looks at you. Did school make you nervous or no? Like I kind of always got nervous in school.
No, I hated being my name near the front of the list alphabetically. I was just gonna say I knew a guy named Do Hyung who went by Tommy.
Yeah,
don't know where he got that from.
We know Tommy. No, I'm just kidding. But no. What about if you had to like speak? What if they were like, Andrew, can you like read this chapter?
No, that's my shit, dog.
You didn't get nervous?
Not at all.
I used to get really nervous, dude. I'm actually not like naturally good in front of stuff. Like I used to flush red, and I'd be like, "Oh no, everybody's looking at me."
The way I saw it and still see it, that I'm such a troublemaker that like I can't. It would be a shame to myself to not be able to back it up with confidence. That's the way I saw it. I always got good grades, which is why I got away with being such a troublemaker. I didn't do anything bad. I remember in like high school math class, like I got away with throwing my shoes at the chalkboard. The teacher didn't I didn't get punished for it.
I was a bad kid. I got nervous, and I think I had a little bit of like Strickland in me in the sense of like I think like trauma to some extent. So like I would just mask it by like being wild, like to get it. You know, they say he does that a lot, like to get ahead of it because it is like so inside of you, like where I didn't want to be caught in a nervous situation. So like I had to do something crazy to like break the ice, like, you know, where it was like, I'd be like doing something, saying something hilarious, getting suspended. But I'm like, I'd rather be suspended or detention than like, you know, get played for a fool out here. Plus I was listening to rap. Like I ain't no sucker. You know what I'm saying? Like like someone's going to be the sucker here. And it's going to be you, Miss Johnson. She's like, oh my gosh. I had this black Spanish teacher. I think her name was Miss Johnson. She hated me so much. Like, I don't know why. I guess I wasn't. She like, it was like, you know, if it came down to it, I was like, I'm sucker free. Okay. Like I'm not taking the L here. Dude, one kid got suspended one time because she goes, Mateo, like we had to speak only in Spanish. It was like the second half of the year. Like, okay, no more English at all. Like you got to speak Spanish all the time. And he's speaking English. And he goes, Mateo, in Espanol. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America. Dude, it was so funny. And everyone laughed. And she was like, suspension, detention. Like she was mad. Dude, she hated a good joke. Like she could not take a good joke. But
yeah, one more thing on that. I had something like a teacher not being able to take a joke. It was like a revelation to me that I had this law teacher, and it came to me. I came to this realization that there was no like saving her when she said she categorized the Red Hot Chili Peppers as noise. And it's like, do you realize how old and crotchety you have to be like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a band from like 1990, is just noise. Like, you're far gone at that point.
Yeah.
Those Rolling Stones are troublemaking youth.
I mean, Under the Bridge is like a melodic song. They're not all like, yeah, that song's how long.
They have a lot of good songs, but like, you like.
That's just noise. I had one math teacher who liked Outkast a lot. I remember that. He was kind of creepy, though. I felt like he was creeping around. And no joke, I called it in 8th grade. I was like, yo, this guy's a little too into like our age group. And everyone's like, oh, shut up. And like when we moved up to the high school, he moved up to the high school. And I was like, yo, I'm calling this one, bro. I always had like foresight. I was always like on it. And then he waited till one of the chicks like graduated and then ended up like dating her when she was like 19. And then he got kicked out of the school. But I was like, I called that one because he was mean to me because he just hang out with the girls and stuff. And I was like, bro, once again, I ain't no sucker, boy. I don't care that you like Outkast. That's just you trying to. He loved Hey Ya, and it's like, get over yourself, bro.
That's strange because that was particularly popular with the high school kids. You say, yeah, I love Hey Ya. I really relate to that.
And dude, the one of the girls that he like ended up, I think, marrying and maybe having a kid with was the first kiss I ever had. And like, it's like he stole my
brothers.
No, it did in the most messed up way. Like, I think they found out that he did that and they like kicked him out. But technically, like, he didn't do anything illegal because he like waited till they came up. But it's like, just for out there, like, this is one of those like technicalities. Like, they'll be like with Trump, they'll be like, well, he technically didn't do this, but he did fund Operation Warp Speed. It's like, technically, this guy didn't do it. But I'm not to bring Trump into this, but I'm just saying like the analogy of like this dude was like, I'm gonna move up to the freshman year, and he's like moving along with us. And I'm like, that's kind of weird.
They're just really good students. That's all.
You know what? I want to be a freshman teacher. Actually, you know what? I want to be a sophomore teacher, dude. I've always wanted junior. He's like, a senior starts with an S. I'll go there. You're like, all right, I'm on to this guy.
All right, yeah.
Something else. So don't do that. That's my message of the day. If you're gonna be a teacher, do not move up with the students just to like keep in touch with the girls. That's a weird vibe. Like, dude, I always hated him and everyone liked him. Andrew, I swear, everyone was like, he's so cool, he's so nice, he's so funny, and I'm like, he's up to something. Dude, same thing as politics. They go, oh, you're just a hater. Oh yeah, you just don't like him because he doesn't like you. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. Like, yeah, why would
There's
I like
something about Jeb Bush? I'm telling you guys.
It's because I wasn't a chick. He's like, I'd be like, yo, how do I do this math problem? He's like, can you shut the fuck up? Like, anyway, Jessica. He's like, that's cool. Like, and I'm like, I need help. Like, I need a lot of help, sir. And he's like, I don't, your gender. He's like, I'm a feminist. He's like, I only help one gender. No, dude, I was onto his shit. So,
Thank everybody for watching the bonus podcast. Please look out for Anomaly's new Predator Catcher channel. It will be live on Rumble and Rofkin only.
Turn it up, Jordan.